Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. On this video I'm going to analyze the stand-up comedy sets of Timmy No Breaks. We're going to look at both appearances he's done on Kill Tony. We're going to watch each set in its entirety, and we are also going to look at some moments from the interview. What I'm doing is creating a community of new comedians here on YouTube. If you like this video, you like the channel, hit subscribe, join the community. Also, if you are already performing and you have footage of yourself doing so, up to 10 minutes long in length, and you would like a cool way to help out this channel, I am offering positive feedback. If you send me the footage, I will send you back 30 to 40 minute video on all the things you are doing correctly that you might not even know yourself. So if you're interested in a service like that and you want to support the channel, drop into the description box or check it out on the comments. I will leave it there too. It's an email address. Give me a shout. I'd love to hear from you. Okay, so with that being said, let's jump into the first clip. Let's watch the first set from Timmy No Breaks on Kill Tony.
Timmy No Breaks.
Yeah, like you said, my name's Timmy No Breaks. And you might wanna buckle the fuck up. Get this. I was at the nut store. I was buying nuts. I go up to the fucking weighted thing. The woman's like, that's gonna be $100. I was like, bitch, I got fucking bills to pay. You guys ever heard of a fucking punchline? What the All right, don't worry. You're gonna love this one. Get this. I was at the doctor. Yeah, the fucking doctor. I go up to this doctor. He's like, Timmy No Breaks, you have cancer. You need treatment. I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm a healthy guy. I'm a young boy. He's like, you need treatment? I'm like, how much is that gonna cost? He's like, $100. I was like, bitch, that's a good deal. This is grade A shit. This is good shit. What the fuck?
Timmy.
Boom. All right, cool. All right, that's the first opener. That's it. That was not what took the entire community world by storm. That wasn't what got, millions and millions of hits. What came afterwards was absolutely what put him over the edge into superstardom when it comes to Kill Tony. But let's really quickly, before we get into the real meat of the video, let's quickly just digest what happened. I love these kind of sets because I love anything that on paper should not work. Like, a guy gets up and pretty much just imitates Andrew Dice Clay for a minute, and you would never think that that was going to work. You would think it would get booed out of what is perceived to be a tough show, Kill Tony. You wouldn't think that would fly. You just wouldn't think it would work. And 100% commitment, which is what this whole video is going to be about. How can we commit? How can we exaggerate where the perception is? Right, so let's go. So he's leaning in to the unfunny side of what he's saying. Now, he knows that it doesn't necessarily matter what happens during the stand-up set, during the minute on Kill Tony. He's figured out the system. You're always going to have a moment talking. You're always going to have your interview. So it's not correct to think of, oh, I just have my interview and then we have to chat about that. No, he's just about to use the interview as an extension to his set, where he's going to have moments to develop and to tell us who he is when he is in this character. Again, 100% committed, because usually we're used to people going on the back foot when it's the interview. Not all the time. The ones that you see time and time again on Kill Tony are people that are very confident and able to communicate who they are on stage. But what we have here is a little bit more unique than that. It's a little bit different. It's a character that we feel we know because of Andrew Dice Clay. And all of a sudden, somebody is taking it and running with the ball in a way that's almost ignorant to history. And it's intriguing. And where the set goes from here is absolute magic, because this is the importance of understanding where your character is going to go with material, where your character has come from. Just because he's playing a fictional version of himself, it doesn't mean that he's the only one that has to understand this. You, when you're on stage, are playing a fictional version of yourself, even if you're being yourself. You have to have stories to tell. You have to be entertaining. You have to know a lot about yourself so that when moments come up on stage, you can entertain an audience by expressing yourself in whatever way. You should absolutely have a backstory to the character you have. You should have the ability to say your opinions and things that have happened to you in your life in a version that will go over well on stage. So let's go into the interview after he's set us up with this absolutely ridiculous character, and let's see just how far he can run with this ball.
What are you really like? How long you been doing stand-up?
Too long. 2 months.
2 months, all right.
That's my God.
Where are you from?
Jersey.
Jersey, all right.
Timmy no bricks!
Oh, wow, okay, Timmy. He's having the time of his life.
Yeah, this is good.
So, Timmy, you've been doing stand-up for 2 months.
Yeah, 2 months.
How old are you?
I'm 18.
How old are you, Timmy?
That's rude. That's fucking. How old are you?
How old are you, Timmy?
I'm 24.
Really?
God, that's fucking. How old are you?
How old are you, Timmy?
24 years old.
Really?
Yes. This is fucking. Guys, come on. I'm a guest here. What the fuck?
Yes, yes, yes. All for it, all day long. Absolutely brilliant. Now, what's he doing here? He's playing the Kill Tony game. So what does that mean? He knows what's in the future. He knows what's about to happen. So, if you know... So what's happening here? He knows... Okay, absolutely brilliant. I am all for it. So what exactly is happening here? Here's the secret. Okay, absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. I am all for it. So what is exactly happening here? Well, he knows what's about to happen on Kill Tony. He knows what questions he's going to be asked. They're always the same. And so he has just extended the set to include what's going to happen. He's going, what can I come up with that's going to be entertaining? I've already opened with this bit and I've leaned into the areas where it's not funny. I've shown myself as someone who can lean into it and can give out to the crowd, and they're also going to be just thinking of Andrew Dice Clay. He understands all of that perception that the audience are going to have. But he's saying that's not the end of his set. It's not like he's just going to be called Andrew Dice Clay and that's it, and oh, where are you from, and he breaks the character. That would be very strange. It's almost seemed like a wasted opportunity to try and imitate someone else. Where can he go with it? How about not stopping the character and continuing on and into that world that he's already created? And it's so genius because, well, you know what's coming. You know what questions you're going to be asked. Starts off with, like... Even in terms of how long you've been doing stand-up, he knows he's going to be asked that. And so that beautiful timing is beautiful. Oh, too long, 2 months. It's just lovely rhythm. And notice what he does after it. It's so cool. What he does after it, he doesn't just go 2 months and just looking back. That would be all right. If he said it with the correct timing, that would be all right. But no, there's a couple of habits that he puts into his set. A lot of it is putting on the jacket and the scratch on the chest. So, too long, 2 months. And it's almost like his thought process is left that question, as it would be in kind of a like, oh, I gotta be somewhere, and he's keeping up with the same character that he always brought on. It's almost like he's got distracted, and if you get distracted from what happened, you leave the joke, and the joke has the only way it can go is understanding and funny. You just leave it sitting there. And all it takes is a subtle little, you say a joke and you too long, 2 months. And if you, by putting your body language away from the joke, you highlight it. You don't go 2 months and keep looking at Tony. It might work, but the fact that he's left it just out there in the open in an awkward sense, and then did the scratch and then looking around and as if other things are going on, and it's like, yeah, so what? He's not giving it any momentum. He's just 2 months, so what? And it's also a funny thing to say. It's also ridiculous. And then the age and everything else is the same. He just throws it back at Tony like, like what? And then like, that's rude. And so he's setting up. He knows what questions he's going to get, so he's setting up Tony. And to be honest, Tony is none but loving it, because Tony's thinking, okay, he's beginning to realize this guy came to play ball. Tony loves it when you can throw the questions back at him. He loves it when you understand the format of the show and you can play with it. And also, Tony is never going to be beaten. He's never going to not have something to say. So Tony can let Timmy do what he wants, because Tony always has a backup in his mind. Also, when it's your own show, you're never going to be beaten on that stage. But it's playing the Kill Tony game, furthering the fun that he came onto the stage with. Let's watch the third clip and see just how much of a world now he creates for this character that he is now running with the ball with, and actually getting quite a unique thing with. Okay, let's check this out. It just gets better and better.
What have you been doing your whole life up until this point?
I worked for my father for a long time. He was a fishing man. And so I worked for him, and then, got caught up in some shit.
Like what?
I did some time. It was coke. I was a coke guy. I did some coke shit, and then, got out, and I found stand-up, and I, never looked back.
How long?
It's not funny. This is my life, guys.
How long were you in jail for?
I was 2 months.
2 months. Everything's 2 months with you.
No, not everything is 2 months. It's also $100.
Yes, 2 months and $100.
Holy shit. It's a fucking black Kool-Aid man. Boom, roasted. Got your ass, bitch.
Wow, Timmy, no
Got
breaks.
your ass, bitch.
Timmy, no breaks. To this.
Boom. All right, cool. Absolutely brilliant. Like, it's very odd to roast David Lucas and just have him sit there chewing on plastic or something. I don't understand how David didn't get involved in this. I would have loved to have seen that, because David's great at roasting, and when he wants to be, he's excellent. Normally I don't give out in this channel, but it was just an opportunity missed. He was just sitting there pretending to be too cool for school, and no comedian is too cool for school. We're all fucking idiots. All right, but what's Timmy doing? Okay, so he's creating a character. He's giving us a backstory. He's giving us the whole, he worked for his dad, and then went to the prison, and he's bringing in drugs, right? Because he knows these are topics that are going to go down really, really well. The family talk, the drug talk, any kind of a crime thing, and he's running with the ball. He's saying all the hot topics that work on Kill Tony. He's saying everything, and if anything hits well, it's a viral moment, because he's just, after working so hard from the moment he got out with such commitment, that it can't go anywhere but hit. Every now and then, whatever hits works out really, really well. So he sets up the backstory about his life, and then he immediately brings it back to what he was saying in the story. He does a callback. He goes, the 2 months line, that's the first callback, right? And then when he's asked, is everything 2 months? He goes, no, it's also $100. It's a second callback to his set. Two callbacks within 30 seconds of each other. And they both land because it's so extremely absurdly silly in conversation. So how has he done this? Well, he's got a premise where I'm going to stick to these 2, 3, or 4 jokes for the entire set. And this is the interesting part. It's not a stand-up comedy technique as such what he's doing. It's actually a magician's technique. Please don't flick off don't X out, right? I know I said magician, but hear me out, right? There's good theory here. Right. In a magic trick, most, not all, but a lot of magic tricks have a repetitive nature. So let's say, especially card tricks, nearly all card tricks have something repetitive about them. So if you put a card back in the deck and the magician was to shuffle it and flick his fingers and the card rises to the top of the deck in a cool way. Well, later on when he's shuffling in the same trick, he's going to repeat that process. He's going to get the card back on top of the deck without you knowing it, and he's going to display it in a new, unique way. That's what Timmy No Breaks is doing here. He knows I'm going to have $100 and I'm going to have 2 months. Those are my 2 go-tos. There's other go-tos as well, but they're the ones you're going to hear the most, especially 2 months. And any chance he gets, he's going to say that. And when you come prepared with that, let's say I have the cards and I'm going to make your card appear at the top of the deck 3 times in this particular routine. The chances are, if I do enough bullshit talking and make you laugh and make the card come to the top once, and then I make you laugh again and the card comes to the top the second time, I've only planned for one at a time. But here's the thing, the more I practice this, the more I'll be able to see in the moment some opportunity to make that card arrive in a way that's not the finale. And that's what's happening here. Throughout the next part of the set, there's moments that arrive to him based on what Tony has said, based on the questions where the answer is 2 months. And in a bit, you're going to see where they both get there at the same time. And that's 2 comedians playing ball. They're literally passing the ball to each other.
Character. Timmy, what do you do for fun in real life now? Are you still on coke?
You can't. No, you know, what's up?
Yes. Yes, you are. Do you live in Austin now?
Yeah, I moved here.
How long have you lived here? 2 months.
Boom.
Timmy No Breaks.
True story.
Timmy.
Boom. I mean, it's just... It's so awesome. Like that moment where they both say 2 months, that is incredible because like Tony's beginning to go, okay, I'm getting this. I want to highlight one other thing. If you're given a playful sentence like how long have you been, you know, how long have you been off the coke, or are you off the coke, or something like that, something around that, something that you can think of, like, well, of course he's going to drag it out and mix up his words and play with that and not even answer the question. The joke is already there. And this is another technique in comedy that I'm always going on about in this channel, and you see it with all the top level guys. Norm Macdonald is probably the king of this, maybe the best ever. It's not the destination, it's the journey. That's what's the funny part. And both these guys know this. Tony knows this, and Timmy is teaching all of us that he knows this, because this is the first time a lot of us don't know who he is before he came on this on Kill Tony. So he is letting us know that he understands it's the journey, and the destination that Timmy has might not be all that funny. But how he's going to get there is going to be really humorous. He's going to make us laugh consistently throughout. And that's way more important than the destination. Make them laugh as you're setting up your premise. Make them laugh as you're giving them any information and you're setting things up. And the punchline will look after itself. If they're already open up and positive and they're liking your set, the punchline's going to be great. If you bore them to death by setting up a premise that isn't funny only to get to a punchline you think is funny, you're not giving the punchline the lifeline it deserves. Make them laugh a few times before you get to the punchline by making little jokes about the information. So when you finally get there, they have been conditioned that you are already funny, so they will believe and they will treat the punchline like it is a monumental punchline.
Fucking Dr. Evil, goddamn, boom, roasted. Look at this bitch. What are you drinking? Fucking gay shit? Goddamn.
Boom. Unbelievable.
Unreal.
Oh.
I'll take that golden ticket, bitch.
Oh my God.
I'll take that golden ticket, bitch.
Timmy, you're not even getting a big joke book, Timmy.
That's fine. I don't write.
We know, Timmy. We saw your act. Don't you know what a...
Boom. Okay. I mean, that's my point there. You're not going to beat Tony on his own show. Like, he's always going to have something to say. But here's the thing. He needs someone to play ball with. He needs someone that's able to throw the ball to him so he can throw it back. It's like, you know, you're not even getting a big joke hook. That's all right. I don't write. It's like, wow. It's like you've thought about all of the things that Tony could possibly say. So another thing I want to quickly mention about this clip is it's probably one of my favorites because the boldness in which he comes out and says, I'll take that golden ticket now, bitch. It's like, that is just so playful. It's such a monumental part in the show. I'm not sure anyone has been so optimistic around the idea of golden ticket. Normally they're afraid to mention it because it's such a big opportunity for them. And for him to come out and say that, it's expanding that knowledge of that character. It's another level of information about this person. It's, oh my God, he believes so much in himself. He's going to treat Tony like that. That's another avenue. And now, from now on, we know he is going to go there. So in the second set, he kind of backs this up. How does he finish when he gets the golden ticket? Thank you, Willy Wonka. And he just, it's almost like, yeah, whatever, you know, who gives a fuck? And then he's out of there. So let's watch the next clip.
Timmy, you're a funny guy, dude. You're a funny guy, Timmy. I like your style. Normally, I hate anything that sounds at all like Andrew Dice Clay, who was literally doing your act 45 years ago, but I look at you...
Never heard of him. Never heard of him, bitch.
All right, absolutely excellent. To come out and say, I love that. He finishes by saying he's never heard of Andrew Dice Clay, and that is excellent because that is like another area of his character that he's going to say. Okay, so he kind of quotes later on, he quotes Andrew Dice Clay for a brief second, and Tony cuts him off, but he does, the very fact that he's so bold as to say that, it's like, wow, at least it's addressed, and he's addressing it in such a ridiculous, funny way. Everything is around a punchline. There's nothing about him that's setting up, and even when he's doing something that's not a joke, and he's setting up any information, he's nearly laughing at the absurdity of himself in doing it. He's having a good time. There is not 1 second so far where he is taking anything serious, and he is telling the audience that in subtle ways. Either he's breaking character and laughing, or he's being absolutely absurd, or he's rooting for a punchline where there isn't one, or he's delivering absolute grade A comedy. All right, let's move on to the second performance he's done on Kill Tony, the return of Timmy No Breaks. And let's see how he picks up the ball and runs with it. In my opinion, a better performance than his first appearance. So let's check it out together.
Ready for the best fucking minute of their lives. What do you do for a living? You're a student? Not what I'm looking for. What do you do for a living? Oh, fucking mother. What do you do for a living? And you, what do you do for a living? Time check? All right, come on, guys, let's go. What do you do for a living? Fuck you, come on. And you, what do you do for a living? I'm just trying to find a natural way into this fucking sushi chef joke. And, does anybody work at an airport sushi restaurant? I mean... I relinquish my time.
Wow.
Boom. Okay. And there in goes Tony with the wow. So, I mean, what happens next is, like, obviously, you know, Tony now loves him. And, okay, here's something. I was reading a lot of comments all saying the same thing after the first appearance of Timmy. And I know exactly why he didn't get given the golden ticket. And actually reminds me a lot of wrestling, of WWE wrestling, which I know Tony is a big fan of. It reminds me of the kind of when a performer doesn't get treated or written in to win the championship or something. It's almost like so many people are angry about that more people are watching it, awaiting for the right thing to happen later. I mean, had he been given the golden ticket after mentioning that I'll take that golden ticket now, bitch, that would have been a lovely moment. But to announce him as a return, you know something big is going to happen. It's like, oh wow, he's back. Because it could have been a thing that he's never heard from again. He's never back again. But of course he was going to be back again. The first night after he did his initial Kill Tony performance, the whole thing blew up. Every comedy channel was doing something on it. The shorts went crazy, and all of a sudden we were watching him do roast battles, and we were looking into his past and stuff. Everybody had the same understanding of it. So by not giving them the golden ticket, you're only highlighting it for the next moment. To give them the golden ticket, yeah, you're going to see them all the time. Why do that so early? You know you're going to rile up everybody by not awarding it. Everyone's going to go in the comment section saying golden ticket, golden ticket, golden ticket, getting loads of hype over it. So when he comes back, give him the fucking golden ticket, and then wow, it's a longer story painted. Right. So in regards to the set he did, this second opening set, this is actually a set I hate to say it, this is not original area. It's nearly what's called stock. It's like, because I come from the street performing, kind of clowning and circus and sideshow performing, and to the idea of asking one person what they do for a living and another person and then another person, and then not being able to connect any of that material to what you had. It's an old cabaret routine that goes back a long time. I've seen it done with magicians where there's a particular card or whatever it is on an envelope on stage, and the guy throughout the set keeps on asking different audience members, and they keep getting it wrong, and if it ever happens and it's correct, it's a big moment. It's funny. It's not impressive. But finally, someone's hit the right card and it gets a good laugh. It's not impressive. And so those kind of things on which the way it's done, like the theory of it is done to death. But does he do it excellent? Fuck, he does it so great, because the sushi chef is so ridiculous. It's such a weird line. And then that's not even it. He puts the scenario in an airport sushi chef. It's like as if to think someone in the front row is going to do that for a job. But I just think it's so lovely. He goes, I can't find a way to get into sushi chef joke, which is funny. But then the second tag, there's a tag there. Where can you put this job? How can you make it even more absurd? The connection from the audience to your material. I'm always saying, find out bizarre connections in your comedy and it'll go a long way. Timmy Nobrix uses callbacks. Connection to the audience is something absolutely absurd. The idea of adding airport as a word into what was already a joke, for airport to be the secondary punchline. And then I relinquish my time. Obviously, beforehand, he has a time check. Again, a very kind of a stocky thing to do in the middle of a set. It's very funny because it's a very quick set. And time check, as if to think like, I'm dying here, help me out. all of the classics packed in. Of course, done in his own style. Let's move on to the. Let's move on to the interview with the panel on the second appearance of Timmy No Bricks.
Timmy, how we doing?
We're good. I'm a little disappointed, to be honest. I told you I wanted Dan Cook. No offense. I mean, but fucking what?
You wanted him on the panel next time you were on? Is that what you said?
Yeah, I hit you up with some requests. I said a bucket of MHLs. I said Dan Cook, and none of them are his. So I don't know what the fucking.
I tried my best to get him. Wasn't easy. We have to settle for Chris O'Connor and Ryan O'Neal tonight.
You're Ryan O'Neal?
Yeah.
This is for you. You just got served, bitch. Got your ass. Open it up. Yeah, why don't you show everybody what that is, bitch? Why don't you show everybody what that... That's a picture of my niece's volleyball team. Oh, rush this man!
Wow. I mean, okay. Talk about coming prepared, right? He's taking it to an extreme. He's exaggerating in. This is the thing. How can we look at his two sets and incorporate the style in one of our sets? Well, here we go. He opened up after his first Kill Tony appearance, and after his first minute, he opened up knowing what Tony is going to ask him, and he had a funny response in character based on that premise, on that back and forward with Tony. Now he takes it a step further. He has this envelope with the photo in his pocket. Now, of course, he doesn't know when it's going to be the right time. He might not even know. He might not have even said, I'm going to give this to one of the panel comedians. Now, he asked for Dane Cook, and he's setting up this. But of course, you don't know where it's going to go because you're dealing with another person and it's in real time and you're both trying to get the funny out. So he knows Tony's going to play ball to a degree. And he says, I asked for Dane Cook. And then he sees an opening. So he gets the introductions to the comedians on stage. He goes, you're him. And then he takes the envelope out, hands it over. So now he's in ball. He thinks this is a perfect moment to do this. Absolutely brilliant. I'll just do it now. So you've been served, which is just... It's so bizarre, but yet just so easy. At home, you stick an envelope in your pocket, and I'm going to serve one of the comedians on stage, because I am almost sure that they don't know who's on stage. I think before you get on the stage, now maybe in this case because he was brought back, they do know who's on stage, but I do have a feeling that the bucket pulls never know who the guests are going to be. I think that's true. But even outside of that, like, it didn't matter because all you're doing is putting a photo in an envelope. And then, but this is the thing. It's not just you've been served and there's nothing in the envelope and that's just a joke. That would have been perfectly fine. Like, it nearly killed Tony. It's very funny. The room was loving it. The idea you've been served to one of the comedians on the panel, brilliant. But he did a tag. It's so simple. If you got one joke that works, how can you push it forward? What are you going to put in the envelope? If you have a bit in your set that you know works, how are you going to set it up, make them laugh before it, and especially make them laugh after it, based on a further understanding of the original premise, of the original punchline. And this is done in a physical form. Now we can see, you hand the punchline over, and they literally look deeper at the punchline to find another punchline. This is 101 classic comedy. This is how it's done.
So tell us, what does Timmy No Breaks do when he's not on stage?
Yeah, I mean, well, I recently got in some trouble. I went to play laser tag and brought a real gun. That was not good. Can I just say something? Guys, when I hit a punch, give me some fucking trumpet. I mean, what's going on there? Not yet. When I hit it.
Boom. I mean, absolutely excellent. So what's he done now? Well, here, he is... The whole line about going to laser tag, bringing a real gun, that's just straight up material. So in his minutes, in the 2 minutes we've seen him on stage doing a straight stand-up set, he hasn't really given us material. He's given us the thing about the $100 joke, and then he's given which he was leaning into the areas where it didn't work, and he was painting the very first picture we got to see of him, so we're learning a lot at that stage. In the second time, we know a lot about him. Everyone has seen it online, and we're waiting to see what he has to say in the second set, and he opens up directly in the audience and does that old classic with not, how the hell am I going to get this sushi joke? But it's not exactly just straight stand-up material. This is one of the rare times we've seen him just do a joke, response to what Tony said about what he's been at recently. And he said recently he went to a laser tag and brought a real gun. It was bad. That could absolutely be a 10-minute set. Absolutely. You could, how he got the gun, how he mixed it up, or did he not have an understanding of what laser tag was? And did he kill a guy thinking, hey, I just thought we were allowed go around in this little room and shoot people to death? Or was it a thing where it got mixed up? Did he not mean to bring a gun? There's all different perceptions and areas and ways you can get this story to be 10 minutes.
You might be the most talked about human ever after only one appearance in the show's history. 12 and a half years of the show, and you might be, in 60 seconds in one interview, the most famous character ever.
Yes, it's been great, I got to do David Lucas's fishing podcast, so I made it. By the way, where the fuck was the trumpet there, guys? Come on.
I think he deserves something a little more. That's like a negative horn you're giving. It should be like a ba-da-bum, ba-dum-bum, or something like that, right?
Tone, no. Give me a D.
You give him a D. Give him a D. What's a D?
I don't...
Yeah. Okay. I see it now. I like it.
That was a D. That was a D. They nailed that one that time. That was a D.
Brilliant. I mean, I just have to point out, again, another one of my favorite. Okay, so he knows the world in which Kill Tony has helped create. And so if he's going to make fun of something that's external to this immediate situation, he's still keeping it immediate by mentioning David Lucas, because David Lucas came from Kill Tony. This is all immediate. It's almost like making fun of something in the room. If it's created from that night and it's in that world of Kill Tony, you know that everybody in that room understands everyone else's show that has come from there. They all know the power and they know the celebrities that have been made in that room. So it's just as funny to highlight something about the band behind you that it is to highlight something that's not even there at the moment, especially since David Lucas was on Timmy No Breaks' first appearance. He was on the panel. He was sitting next to him like a fucking mannequin. But yeah, it's all fair game. It's all still in that area of Kill Tony to be made fun of, and it's absolutely brilliant. So in your set, if you're in front of an open mic crowd, you can do jokes about any other open mic night that's on. You can do jokes about what it's like to be an open mic performer. You can do you can do jokes about the fear you have in performing. All of these huge areas are going to connect really, really well to your audience because they are all experiencing it themselves. They all go to the other nights as well. They all have the same fear. They all have to commit to the same writing that you do. They all don't want to do it, and yet they're, fuck, I should really start doing it. And then you start doing it, and you do it for hours.
And is there anything that you miss about New Jersey?
I miss the mornings. Spotlight?
Spotlight for
Perfect.
Timmy No Breaks. No doubt about it. Whatever Timmy wants. Every member of the Kill Tony crew should know. Whatever Timmy asks for, Timmy gets from this point forward. There's a thumbs up from the great Yoni. Timmy, go ahead. What do you miss about Jersey?
Yeah, I miss the mornings, walking out, fucking walking up to bitches saying, hey, bitch! That's what I'm talking about! That's what I'm talking about! But yeah, that's what I miss most, We're good on the spotlight, thank you. We're good. We got out of that.
Wow.
That's my story. I'm sticking to it, Tone. HEB, I think.
Timmy No Breaks is doing
Can I-
HEB?
Let me.
The grocery store or the arena?
All right. Absolutely excellent. So there's a moment there where he asks for the spotlight, right? And he does this joke. It's kind of hidden. It's kind of passed over a little bit. I think it's very funny. Again, it's a little bit kind of it's done before. It's not very original, but he does it very well. He goes, "Spotlight, please." "Oh, thanks," in kind of a very sarcastic way, because he's expecting nothing to happen. You're not expecting a spotlight to go. But of course, the Kill Tony production is second to none. If you want a spotlight, you can get a spotlight. But the joke didn't need a spotlight. It didn't need it. Had he not got the spotlight and said, "Oh, thanks a million," and then said, "Well, normally there'll be a spotlight," and then he goes into it. But the fact that the production was there on his favor, and yes, it did highlight the joke a little bit more and made it funny, but he didn't need it. The writing didn't need it. He could have just asked for the spotlight, and he did. If you listen closely, you do hear that, "Oh, thanks," and then the spotlight comes on. He kind of, "Oh, I actually do have a spotlight," and then he goes into the ridiculous story, very much Andrew Dice Clay. And at this stage, no one's even thinking about Andrew Dice Clay, really. We're just enjoying it for what it is. And of course, it wouldn't have existed without Andrew Dice Clay. But it's like, but at this stage, who gives a shit? Because it's this weird imitation. But we now are finding out new things about Timmy No Breaks, and it's like the world he's creating and the ability of, yes, you give me the ball, I'm going to run with it, and most importantly, pass it back to you. And this beautiful ability between Tony and Timmy makes this excellent. Now, I've cut out the parts where Tony is just nearly stuttering because he's having such a good time and he's complimenting Timmy. We didn't need to see all that, because we've just seen that time and time again. Whenever you do well on Kill Tony, Tony is going to big you up like you're just the second coming of Carlin or something. But okay, let's continue on.
You'd like to ask me a question or anything? We can do anything you want.
Yeah. Take your entire life, Tom. What's the most interesting thing about you? Go. Tom, your entire life. Let's go.
Well, I mean, it's a tough question. No, I mean, I guess the most interesting thing about me is probably that I'm...
It's not easy, is it, bitch? Yay!
Timmy No Breaks. Let it be known.
The timing is excellent to that. Like, that was obviously just a coincidence that they had that the moment before the final hit, and it was boom, you're gay, boom. It was just such a brilliant timing. But what happened there? He turned around the main question that Tony always asks people, and he asked Tony. He put him under pressure. Now, of course, Tony wasn't under any pressure here. What Tony did was, again, he took the ball for the enjoyment of the entire room. Tony could have said a lot of things that's most interesting about him. Pretty much he could have said he's the creator and weekly host of the most successful live comedy podcast in the world, and sold out Madison Square Gardens 2 nights in a row. That would be a perfectly good line. Everyone knows he can say that immediately. But he chooses not to. Because why do that when you can take the ball and pass it back? He's looking up at Timmy as he's saying these things, waiting for Timmy whenever his moment is right to go to put butt in with whatever line. And Timmy chooses, "That's not that easy, is it, bitch?" And then Tony laughs after passing him the ball back. This is two comedians playing ball with each other, and the audience are loving it. And absolutely excellent performances from Timmy No Breaks. A kind of a character that is going to benefit Kill Tony. Whenever he is on, it's going to be very interesting. I would really love to see him on the panel and keep that character up for the entire night. And I would love to see him sit next to Andrew Dice Clay and do it. That would be really, really interesting. And I'm sure maybe... hey, who knows what could happen in the future, because it's a crazy show. All right. I hope this mad rant I went on here has been beneficial to you. I hope you've really, really enjoyed it. And I hope you're ready to go and get really creative. And I hope you're ready for the next Kill Tony. And I will see you on the next video. All right, cheers.